What's up, United family? Welcome back to Man United HQ View with breaking news that's sending shockwaves through Old Trafford. Massive developments today as Matthijs de Ligt drops a huge revelation about what's really happening behind the scenes at United. Forget what you've heard about tactical changes. He's exposed something far more concerning. Plus, Fabrizio Romano brings us the real story on Victor Osimhen. No, he's not at Galatasaray, but there are serious developments about his future that United fans need to know about. We've got the full breakdown of the numbers and why this deal could actually happen. But that's not all. Real Madrid are plotting a shock £50 million move that could transform our transfer plans. The domino effect starts with Trent Alexander-Arnold and ends with a massive decision about one of our key players. And wait until you hear about the contract shake-up. From a mad stellar rise to a stunning U-turn on Harry Maguire, plus details of the massive summer rebuild that's coming. This is your one-stop update for everything Manchester United. Trust me, you won't want to miss any of this. Let's dive straight in. Breaking news at Old Trafford. Could Victor Gyökeres be the answer to United's striker search? What's going wrong with our current attack? Let's be honest, things haven't been great in front of goal lately. 3 games without scoring? That's not the Manchester United way. Even though we spent nearly £100 million on our current strikers, something isn't clicking. Rasmus Højlund shows promise when he gets chances, but those chances have been hard to come by. Enter Victor Gyökeres, the striker who's taking Europe by storm. Remember the name, Victor Gyökeres. He's been absolutely tearing it up, and guess what? He just reminded everyone of his talent with an amazing hat-trick for Sporting Lisbon in a thrilling 4-4 draw against Vitória. But what makes this even more interesting is his connection with our potential new manager, Ruben Amorim. Why Gyökeres might be perfect for United. 1. He's Europe's top scorer in 2024. 2. He has a great relationship with Amorim. 3. He's shown interest in moving to Old Trafford. 4. His playing style is similar to his idol, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. 5. He's proven he can score all types of goals. The Osimhen factor. Why Gyökeres might be the better choice. Victor Osimhen is another name being thrown around in transfer talks. While he's definitely world-class, there are some concerns. His injury record isn't great, and that's something we need to think about carefully. When you compare both strikers, Gyökeres seems to have fewer red flags. The price tag question. Here's where it gets interesting. Sporting might want around £80 million in January, but word is we could get him for about $60 million in the summer. In today's market, that could be a steal for a striker of his quality. What does this mean for Højlund and Xerxes? Both our current strikers would benefit from having a world-class striker to learn from. Nobody's saying they need to leave, but having strong competition and someone to mentor them could be exactly what they need to develop. Jason Wilcox's role in all this. Our new setup with Jason Wilcox looking at transfers brings a fresh perspective to recruitment. He seems to understand we need a proven goalscorer, and Gyökeres fits that bill perfectly. The Amorim connection. Why it matters. This is perhaps the most exciting part. Amorim has already worked wonders with Gyökeres at Sporting. Just imagine what they could do together at Old Trafford. The fact that Amorim is specifically asking for him speaks volumes about their relationship and what he thinks Gyökeres could bring to United. What this could mean for United's future. Think about it. When was the last time we had a truly dominant number 9? Someone who could guarantee us 20-plus goals a season? Gyökeres could be that player. His style would suit the Premier League, and at his age, he's entering his prime years. Questions for United fans to consider. 1. Would you prefer Gyökeres in January for $80 million or wait until summer for $60 million? 2. How do you think he would fit into our current system? 3. Could this signing help unlock Højlund's potential too? What happens next? The next few weeks will be crucial. With the transfer window open and United clearly in need of goals, something needs to happen. Gyökeres has made his statement with that hat-trick, and now the ball is in United's court. Final thoughts. This could be one of those defining moments in United's recent history. We need a striker, we have a player who wants to come, and we potentially have a manager who knows how to get the best out of him. The pieces are all there. Now it's just about making it happen. What do you think, United fans? Is Gyökeres the answer to our striking problems? Should we go all out for him in January or wait until summer? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Is Victor Osimhen finally coming to Old Trafford? Here's what we know. The current situation. Remember how last summer's transfer window left many of us wanting more in the striker department? Well, it looks like the club might be fixing that soon. Osimhen, who's currently lighting up the Turkish league with Galatasaray, has reportedly set his sights on a move to Old Trafford. But wait, how did he end up at Galatasaray? After some dramatic deadline day moments in September 2024, when moves to Chelsea and Saudi Arabia fell through, Osimhen joined Galatasaray on loan. And boy, has he been impressive. With 12 goals and 5 assists in just 15 games, he's showing exactly why United might want to bring him in. The numbers game. Let's talk about what it might take to bring Osimhen to Manchester. Here's where it gets interesting. There's a €90 million release clause in his contract. €10 million would go to Galatasaray as compensation. Word is that the final price might drop to €75 million to help make the deal happen. Think about it. In today's market, is that a fair price for a striker who's proven himself in Serie A and is now dominating in Turkey? The Amorim factor. Here's something that makes this story even more interesting. Our new manager, Ruben Amorim, has already made it clear he won't be going after Victor Gyökeres during this transfer window. Could this be because he's got his eyes set on Osimhen? It certainly looks that way. Why Osimhen makes sense for United. Let's look at why this transfer could be exactly what United needs. 1. Age and experience. Osimhen just turned 26 last month. He's entering his prime years as a striker, with enough experience to make an immediate impact but still young enough to give us several peak years. 2. Proven goal scorer. Those numbers at Galatasaray don't lie. 12 goals and 5 assists in 15 games is seriously impressive. But it's not just about the stats. Osimhen brings something special to the pitch every time he plays. 3. Perfect timing. With the January window approaching, this could be the perfect moment to strengthen our attack. A striker of Osimhen's caliber could be the difference-maker in the second half of the season. What would Osimhen bring to United? If you haven't watched much of Osimhen, here's what you can expect. Incredible pace and power. Strong aerial ability. Excellent movement off the ball. Clinical finishing. The ability to create chances for others. Just look at those assist numbers. What this means for United's current strikers. This is where things get really interesting. How would Osimhen's arrival affect our current attacking options? It could create some healthy competition and give us different tactical options for different games. The financial side. The reported €75 to €90 million price tag is significant, but in today's market, finding a proven striker isn't cheap. When you consider Osimhen's age, experience, and current form, it might actually represent good value for money. Fan perspective. As United fans, we've been crying out for a top-class striker who can consistently find the back of the net. Osimhen could be that missing piece. Just imagine the excitement at Old Trafford when he puts on that red shirt for the first time. What could stop this deal? Let's be realistic. There are always potential hurdles in big transfers like this. Other clubs might join the race. The final price could be a sticking point. Galatasaray might not want to end the loan early. Personal terms would need to be agreed. What's next? The January transfer window is just around the corner, and if these reports are true, things could move quickly. The key points to watch will be whether United makes an official bid, how Galatasaray responds to potentially losing Osimhen mid-season, what other clubs might enter the race, how the release clause situation develops. The bigger picture. This potential transfer isn't just about bringing in another striker. It could signal a real statement of intent from United and our new manager. It shows we're serious about competing at the highest level and willing to invest in top talent. Looking ahead. If this transfer goes through, it could be one of the most exciting January signings in recent United history. Osimhen has all the qualities to become a fan favorite at Old Trafford, and his style of play seems perfect for the Premier League. What do you think? We'd love to hear your thoughts on this potential transfer. Would Osimhen be the right signing for United? How do you think he'd fit into our team? Let us know in the comments below. Manchester United's contract shakeup What's next for the Red Devils? Breaking news, Amad's rise and new deal. The biggest news coming out of Old Trafford is about our young star Amad. After showing incredible form in recent months, the club is moving quickly to secure his future. While his current deal could be extended by a year, United aren't taking any chances. They're working on a fresh contract that would keep him at the club beyond 2026. What makes this news even more exciting is how Amad has been lighting up the pitch. His performances have caught everyone's attention, and it's clear why United want to lock him down for the long term. For United fans, this is exactly the kind of positive news we've been waiting for. The Harry Maguire situation. Remember when everyone thought Maguire might be leaving? Well, here's an interesting twist. United are planning to trigger the one-year extension in his contract. This would keep him at the club until 2026. It's quite a turnaround for a player who faced so much criticism earlier in his United career. But why are United making this move? It's simple, really. Maguire has shown improved form, and the club wants to protect its investment. Plus, having experienced defenders in the squad is always valuable, especially with all the changes expected in the coming months. The big summer rebuild. Now, here's where things get really interesting. United are planning a major squad overhaul this summer. But what does this actually mean? Let's break it down. The club needs to raise funds for new signings. This means some familiar faces will likely be saying goodbye to Old Trafford. It's not just about bringing in new players, it's about creating space in the squad and on the wage bill. Think about it. When was the last time United had such a significant cleanup? This could be the biggest squad transformation we've seen in years. The question is, which players will be part of United's future, and who will be moving on? Contract situations to watch. One of the trickiest parts of this rebuild will be managing player contracts. Some players will be easier to move on than others, simply because of their contract situations. This is where things get complicated for United's decision-makers. For fans, understanding these contract situations helps make sense of potential transfer moves. It's like putting together a puzzle. Each piece needs to fit perfectly for the bigger picture to work. What this means for United fans. As United supporters, we're all wondering what these changes mean for our club's future. The good news is that the club seems to have a clear plan. They're not just thinking about next season but building for long-term success. Looking at the Amad situation, for example, shows that United are willing to invest in young talent that proves itself. This could be a sign of the club's future direction, building around promising players rather than just big names. The challenge ahead. Managing these contract situations won't be easy. United need to balance several factors. Keeping their best young talents like Amad. Making smart decisions about experienced players like Maguire. Creating space for new signings. Managing the wage bill. Maintaining squad harmony during all these changes. Questions for United fans to consider. What do you think about Amad getting a new contract? Should United keep extending contracts of experienced players like Maguire? Which positions do you think need strengthening in the summer rebuild? How many players should United look to move on? Looking to the future. This summer could be one of the most important transfer windows in recent United history. The decisions made about contracts and transfers will shape the team for years to come. For fans, it's both an exciting and nervous time. What's clear is that United are taking steps to build something new. From securing young talents like Amad to making tough decisions about departures, every move seems part of a bigger plan. Final thoughts. As we watch these changes unfold at Old Trafford, one thing's certain, Manchester United is entering a crucial period. The contract decisions being made now will have long-lasting effects on the club's future. For us fans, the coming months will be fascinating to watch. Will the rebuild be successful? Can United balance youth and experience? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, it won't be boring. Remember to share your thoughts in the comments below. Is Trent Alexander-Arnold's next move about to cost Manchester United £50 million? The big story. What's going on? Have you ever wondered how one player's decision could affect multiple clubs? Well, that's exactly what we're seeing with the current Trent Alexander-Arnold situation. Real Madrid has their eyes on Liverpool's star right-back, and believe it or not, their decision could hit United's wallet pretty hard. Let's break down why this matters to us as United fans. The Madrid connection. Real Madrid is hunting for a new right back, and they've got two names at the top of their list. 1. Trent Alexander-Arnold from Liverpool. 2. Our very own Diogo Dalot. Why are they looking? It turns out they need someone to step in for Dani Carvajal, who's been out since October with an ACL injury. That's opened up a gap in their defense that they're desperate to fill. The Alexander-Arnold situation. Here's where things get interesting. Alexander-Arnold's contract at Liverpool is running down, and he could leave for free in the summer. Madrid knows this, and they're playing it smart. They've already tried approaching Liverpool, but got turned down. What makes this even more intriguing is that Alexander-Arnold hasn't said a word about his future. Unlike his teammate Mo Salah, who's been pretty open about his situation, Alexander-Arnold is keeping quiet. This has Liverpool fans worried, and honestly, it should have United fans paying attention too. The Dalot factor. Now, here's where it directly affects United. If Madrid can't get Alexander-Arnold, they're ready to turn their attention to Diogo Dalot. And they're not thinking small. We're talking about a potential £50 million offer. Think about that for a moment. That's the kind of money that could really change things for United. Under our new manager Ruben Amorim, we're looking to rebuild and reshape the team. An extra £50 million in the transfer budget could make a huge difference. What would this mean for United? Let's imagine Madrid does come in for Dalot. Here's what it could mean for us. First, the good news. £50 million is serious money. That's the kind of cash that could help Amorim bring in players who fit his system better. He's been trying to implement a three-at-the-back formation, and some of our current players have been struggling to adapt. But there's also a challenge. Dalot has been one of our most consistent players this season. Both Ten Hag and now Amorim have trusted him as a regular starter. Would losing him be worth the money? What Liverpool's manager is saying. Even Liverpool's manager, Arne Slot, seems uncertain about the whole situation. When asked about Alexander-Arnold's future before their game against United, he couldn't give any guarantees. In fact, he brought up similar concerns about other star players like Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah. Here's what he actually said. It is such a difficult question to answer because there is hardly any long-term in football, especially not for a manager, so your only focus is on the short term. What this means for the future. This whole situation shows just how connected modern football transfers are. One move can trigger a chain reaction affecting multiple clubs. If Alexander-Arnold decides to stay at Liverpool, Madrid might come knocking for Dalot. If he leaves for Madrid, Liverpool might need to strengthen, which could affect the transfer market for everyone. For United fans, this creates some interesting questions. 1. Would you take £50 million for Dalot? 2. If we did sell him, how should we reinvest that money? 3. Could this actually help accelerate Amorim's rebuild of the team? The bigger picture. This isn't just about one transfer. It's about how modern football works, where decisions made in Madrid can affect Manchester, and choices made in Liverpool can impact everyone's plans. It's like a giant game of chess, where every move has consequences. What's especially interesting is how this shows the power players now have in football. Alexander-Arnold's silence about his future is affecting not just Liverpool's plans, but potentially United's as well. That's modern football for you. Looking ahead. As United fans, we need to keep a close eye on this situation. While it might seem like Liverpool's problem right now, it could quickly become very relevant to us. That £50 million could be the key to helping Amorim build the team he wants. Remember, our new manager wants to play with wingbacks, and he needs players who can fit that system. While Dalot has been doing well, maybe this could be an opportunity to bring in someone who's an even better fit for the new system. What do you think? We'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Would you be happy to see Dalot go for £50 million? Who would you want to see us bring in with that money? And how do you think this whole situation will play out? The beautiful thing about football is that it's unpredictable. We could see Alexander-Arnold make a shock move to Madrid this month, or he might sign a new contract with Liverpool tomorrow. Either way, United needs to be ready for what comes next. Remember, in football, everything's connected. Today, it's Alexander-Arnold and Liverpool. Tomorrow, it could be a game-changing moment for United. That's why we love this sport, right? Is Manchester United's current crisis really about tactical changes? The big story, what De Ligt said. In a recent interview with MUTV, Matthijs de Ligt dropped what many would call a bombshell. He challenged the common belief that United's players are struggling because they're adapting to Ruben Amorim's new system. According to de Ligt, the way the team plays now isn't all that different from how they played under Erik ten Hag. But wait, isn't this completely different from what we've been hearing? What we were told versus what de Ligt says. Since taking over at United, Ruben Amorim has repeatedly told fans and media that the team needs time. His message has been clear: the players need to get used to a new style, and this will take time and training. It made sense to most of us. New manager, new system, new ways of playing. Of course, the team would need time to adjust. But de Ligt's comments tell a different story. He specifically pointed out that the much-talked-about three-at-the-back formation isn't new at all. Here's what he revealed. Under ten Hag, they built up play with three defenders. Diogo Dalot played as an inverted midfielder. They defended high up the pitch. One fullback would stay back, creating a back three in defense. Under Amorim, the same basic defensive structure continues. Similar build-up patterns from the back. Three-defender system remains in place. De Ligt even mentioned that this approach wasn't unique to ten Hag, saying they played similarly under Van Nistelrooy too. Why this matters so much? This revelation creates some serious questions about United's current situation. If the system isn't that different, why are the players struggling so much? Is Amorim right about the team needing time to adapt, or is de Ligt's assessment more accurate? What's really causing United's poor form if it's not about adapting to a new system? The bigger picture. What this tells us about United's problems. De Ligt's comments shine a light on some deeper issues at Manchester United. If the players aren't really dealing with a drastically new system, then what's causing the poor performances? Here are some possibilities to consider. Mental barriers. Maybe the issue isn't tactical at all. Could it be that the players are struggling with confidence and mentality rather than understanding new instructions? Communication problems. If Amorim thinks he's implementing significant changes, but players like de Ligt don't see much difference, could there be a communication gap between the manager and the squad? Execution versus understanding. Perhaps the players understand the system fine, as de Ligt suggests, but they're struggling to execute it effectively under pressure. The results problem. At the end of the day, football is a results business. United's current inability to win games regularly is why these discussions are happening in the first place. As de Ligt's comments suggest, the tactical debate might be missing the point entirely. Think about it. If United were winning games, would anyone care whether they were playing with 3 or 4 at the back? Would the similarities between ten Hag's and Amorim systems even be a talking point? What this means for United fans. If you're a United fan, this situation might feel frustrating. On one hand, you have a manager saying the team needs time to adapt to new ideas. On the other hand, you have a key player suggesting that not much has actually changed. But here's the important thing to remember. Sometimes the simplest explanation is the right one. Maybe United's problems aren't about formations or tactical systems at all. Maybe they run deeper than that. Questions every United fan should be asking. 1. If the system hasn't changed much, what's really holding the team back? 2. Why do the manager and players seem to have different views on the tactical setup? 3. How can United turn things around if the issue isn't tactical? Looking ahead, what needs to change? The path forward for Manchester United isn't clear-cut. De Ligt's comments suggest that focusing too much on tactical changes might be missing the point. Perhaps what the team needs isn't more time to learn new systems, but rather better execution of existing tactics, improved confidence and mentality, clearer communication between management and players, a return to winning ways to build momentum. The final whistle. De Ligt's honest assessment of United's tactical setup has given us all something to think about. While Amorim talks about needing time for tactical adaptation, the reality might be simpler and more complicated than that. The solutions United need might have less to do with formations and more to do with fundamentals. For now, one thing remains clear: until United start winning games again, these questions will keep coming. The good news? Sometimes knowing the real problem is the first step toward fixing it. Maybe de Ligt's candid comments will help United focus on what really needs to change. What do you think? Are United's problems tactical, or is something else holding them back? Share your thoughts in the comments below.